shook up the family tree.
Hey,
Hey,
you almost did it right, Krista. I think you did good.
it's about when to hit the button. It's a little delayed process.
Y'all, so I noticed like last week after this live, our sales went up on the song. So you guys know you can go to your favorite music thing and you can put Shoot Like a Girl Anthem by Angela Hacker, and you can download that song for whatever, $2 or whatever, I don't know, 33 cents. But get our song. It's a cool song. It's a Southern rock song that we had produced a couple years ago and lots of fun. And y'all, look who we have. I don't know how to say this any better. Drum roll, please. It is Claudia. Claudia is.
Hi guys, how y'all?
We're so happy to have you here this week and talk to us about GTM handbags. And we're going to get to learn a little bit more about you because you actually have a story for how you got into producing handbags for women to carry concealed safely, responsibly, and really to give us a tool that is worth our weight in gold in terms of the value that it provides us. And so we'll talk a lot about that. Krista, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm so excited to see you, Karen, and also Claudia. She always brings a lot of energy, and we love energy, right? Energy's awesome. See, she's even bouncing. I mean, there's her energy right there. Claudia, you've joined us a couple times before, so
Yes.
this might be your third or fourth time. We're glad to have you back. You have some beautiful bags behind you. So we always like talking about bags. But why don't you share a little bit about yourself and who you are? So for someone that might be seeing you for the first time, we'll get to know you.
Okay, welcome. First of all, I'm going to apologize because I'm looking at my laptop and I know that I'm not looking directly in the camera, so I'm sorry. But
You're not alone. You're not alone.
huh?
I said you're not alone in that. We all have that challenge.
They don't care where we look. Our eyes are always cross-eyed. It's okay.
Don't get me started. I'll be laughing the whole time. So, welcome. Welcome. Thank you for inviting me back. I love talking with you guys and I love talking to your audience. Oh my God. Karen, and actually, we have a little side story because Karen and I have actually worked kind of parallel through many years at Cabela's. So when Karen was starting out, so were we. And I didn't know Karen. She didn't know me. And then we actually came together at a store event in Arkansas before your big truck.
We just had a little one then. It was only, I don't know, 30 feet or something like that.
Yeah, but it didn't have all of those wonderful logos all over it. And the truth and the camel on it too. And just so that if nobody's met me before, I had to stand on the curb while Karen stood on the parking lot so that our heights would be almost similar. So
Almost.
Okay, great.
So yes, we actually got into Gun Tote Mamas purely by request and by accident. Our background is 100% in luggage and leather goods. It was a company that my father started over 40 years ago. I did not work for him. I grew up in the department stores back then. So that's why I have a unique aspect to the business because I have over 25 years of experience on the retail floor. But when I joined my father, it was because, believe it or not, I was working for Bloomingdale's at the time and I met the original owner of Toomey and we worked together. And I fell in love with luggage then. So my father's business was luggage and leather goods. And so even more so, I actually, when I was going to the factories at that time, I would inspect some of Toomey's product in the leather area too. So a lot of fun, a lot of that good background. But fast forward, we also manufactured some product that we were showing at the Atlanta Gift Show at the time. People know us for our wallets. We were doing embroidered critters like wolves and deer and whatnot. Somebody said, "Oh, you need to go to SHOT Show." I'm going, what is SHOT Show? So, because when you're not,
For all of our listeners, SHOT Show is our industry show, and it is massive. It's like 3 convention centers piled into one massive, massive event.
it's the number 4 trade show in Las Vegas. So that's how big it is. And but if you didn't grow up in the industry, which I didn't know what that was. But when you got there, oh my God, you knew what it was. We were like in the last tent, in the last parking lot. But the interesting thing is, I brought all of this wonderful leather stuff. But at the end of the show, not a single piece was sold. But we had well over 200 people that stopped by and said, "Can you make a concealed carry handbag?" And I'm going, "What is that?" So in their booth, at the time, my one of my close friends, who was a hunter, she explained it to me. My husband grew up hunting in Michigan. He explained it to me. And even still, after leaving that show, I still didn't believe it. And then after a year, it was like, all right, we're going to give this a try. And we put together some very rudimentary items. But one thing that we did do is I put it in my best leather factory, which is a luggage factory. We don't make anything less than that. It's luggage quality. And after one of my early customers at the time, where I was manufacturing custom made product for them, was Cabela's. I presented the bags that I had to my buyer at the time, and I said, "So what do you think of these?" And he goes, "You know what, Claudia? These are not in my category, but I'm going to introduce you to the people that should see that." And in 2010, Cabela's was one of our very first customers and believed in the product and believed in women and believed where it would go. So we haven't looked back ever since then. And that's how we got into the business. The one thing that really, the first 2 years, it kind of freaked me out was that, okay, this is going to be holding a gun. I'm not compromising anywhere. We actually even talked to some of the big companies that walked around SHOT Show, which was pretty amazing and also impressed me about the industry compared to the others that we're in. When you get people from, like the wife of Smith & Wesson CEO walks into your booth, and we had a discussion about, okay, what we could do, what we couldn't do, and whatnot. At that show too, we had the female trainers from Gunsight. They came into our booth, and every day they were in our booth on the floor. I was tearing things apart, saying, "All right, is this better, or is this better, or whatnot?" And they were actually our first testers too, because once we figured it out, I said, "All right, I'm not taking this to market until I am totally comfortable with how this is going to be, because we can only test so much at the factory. We do drop tests, for instance, to make sure that those shoulder straps don't come off. So I'll put an 8-pound, 10-pound, 15-pound weight in there, and we literally are dropping it 5,000 times. Or a couple of times I'll go to 20,000. But that doesn't replace everyday use. So when I had the product ready, which was our Raven bag, the GTM 99, I gave it to the ladies at Gunsight, and I said, "Trash it. Just do whatever you need to do." And boy, did they do that. I got all the wonderful sticky notes on there. I loved it because it helped us today to make the best bag possible.
Right. I'd say the best bag on the market, in all honesty, for what he has. And you weren't a shooter, right? So
no, I was not a
but
shooter.
You've learned, you've had some exceptional training, I understand.
Yes, ma'am.
And
It was Miss Vicki Farnham, who is my mentor in the industry for that. And she came by our booth, the third SHOT Show. And we talked. She couldn't believe that I never shot, but my parents grew up during the World War II, so that's why we didn't have this discussion. And finally, at one point, she said, "I'm walking away if you don't come and learn how to shoot." And I said, "Okay." And to this day, she continues to be my mentor. And boy, that was a life-changing experience in a very positive way. And my favorite gun was the MB 2.0.
I see you with your little hands, right?
With your little hands.
Yeah.
So I want to comment on something, Claudia, because I'm not sure that, I mean, we have a lot of followers. Some of them may be very familiar with GTM, and maybe they know you, but a lot of people just see a concealed carry handbag and they think, you know, big business, big company, big corporate. I don't think they realize that you're in every decision, right? This is your company and you stand behind it. That's an awesome,
Yes.
huge message to send about the bag.
Yes. And that's important. Coming from a retail background, our number one goal was to always take care of the customer. I actually go back, I'm thinking myself, going back to the old Marshall Field days. And there's a book that was written about that long time ago, saying, give the lady what she wants. Well, in modern times, the customer is always right. That's the era that I grew up in. And when we decided to go forward with Gun Tote Mamas, there were two criteria. One was to make sure that these bags were made damn well because of what the protection that we were going to use, make them for. But number two is what we call the back end is just as important as the front end of the production, meaning that our customer service had to be spot on, bar nobody. So to this day, we actually answer our phones.
I love that.
And for some people that do struggle, we do our best to try to calm them and to address their concerns, address their needs. It's also the reason why we have one of the most robust warranties in the industry as well. So our bags, the overall construction of the bag, we give you a 1-year warranty. However, materials do have, depending on what happens, it does happen. Leather, we give a 2-year warranty on the leather itself. If it didn't function the way it was supposed to, we're going to take care of you. Shoulder strap. All of our shoulder straps have an 11-ply steel wire embedded in those. That actually came from the luggage industry because that's where it started. And we brought it over to this industry. Well, we all know that steel is stronger than leather at times. And if that pops out of there, we're going to give you 2 years and we're going to replace it. If it shouldn't have happened at all, some of these situations come directly to my attention because I have a construction background too. I grew up making clothes for people. So I have been trained from the Berninas all the way up to the Samsung machines that you see in mass production. So I can take a look at something pretty quickly to determine if it's our problem that we need to deal with or if it was just normal use and abuse and it gave a good life.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, so this probably isn't good for business, but I've been carrying the same bag for almost 4 years.
4 years, maybe.
Every day. Every day. Like I don't change it for winter. Well, actually, I do have a brown one and I have a red one. I have the exact same bag in brown and red. But those two bags every day, 4 years running, not a single issue that wasn't my fault because I did happen to slam the strap little clasp into my car door and I squished it. But my husband just bent it out for me. But that was my fault. Like I abused my poor little bag. But Claudia, what really impresses me about you is your commitment to safety. We're very heavy on safety and personal responsibility. Like it's a big deal to make a decision to carry a gun. And it's a big deal however you carry it, whether on body or in your handbag. And the fact that you've designed a bag that has a pocket with a holster that's dedicated for that firearm so that there's no way that the thing that we talked about this a couple weeks ago, the thing that drives me craziest is when you see a movie and the lady just chunks her gun into a bag with keys and pencils and everything. It's like, oh my gosh, what are you doing? That's so unsafe. Ladies, don't do that at home. It's very, very unsafe.
It is a
Your
extremely
your handgun needs a pocket of itself.
Yes, it does. And I've heard those same stories, Karen. I mean, I think one that really horrified me was we were at a store event, and I asked a grandmother who had her toddler grandchild, and she had a big tote. And I said, "So tell me how you carry." She goes, "Well, you see it right here." And I said, "Okay, but where is your firearm?" And she said, "Well, I have it. It's at the bottom of the bag." And instead of passing out right there, I said to her, "Well, you have your beautiful grandchild in your arm. So if a bad guy was to come into the store right now and come right at you, how quickly would you be able to access your firearm with your baby in the hand?" And it gave her pause. And I want to invite all of your listeners to give you pause. Because when you have a big tote that carries everything in the kitchen sink, we as women, we love to carry everything. But I cannot emphasize enough, this is a holster system. It is not a handbag first. It is a holster system first, which means that you have to be able to have immediate access, split second access to your protection, because you all know things happen in a split second. So if you've got a toddler in one arm, your shoulder tote is hanging from your shoulder and the gun is at the bottom of that tote with everything on top of that, how fast will you truly be able to protect yourself and your grandchild?
Yeah.
That should go through everybody's mind. And because it's a handbag, this is the challenge that we have to make sure that everybody understands, and a mindset that don't put everything into your holster system. Keep thinking about it as a holster system. Take only what you need so that the bag functions as your holster would, that it functions when you need it most. So that means that when you're stuffing this bag, if you were to take this bag, and this is our wonderful slim crossbody, if you were to stuff this bag so much that that zipper now starts to do this, you have now compromised the safety of your access, because these zippers, they're luggage level. They are designed to go straight and open straight. They're also designed that with a thumb rip, they'll open in no time. However, if you now have stuffed it so much that it curls like this, you've now compromised the integrity of that zipper and it will not function when you need it.
Yep, that's a good safety tip.
That's a great safety tip. While you have that bag in your hand, Claudia, can you show us some of the other features that you include in your bags? Because you've thought about a lot when you create a bag.
Yes, we do. Because first of all, unlike many other brands that are out there, we actually think about the gun first and how the bag reacts to that in there, because the dynamics do change. And I learned that when I was training with Vicky. Oh my gosh. Because a firearm can weigh nothing, or it can be 5, 6, 7 pounds. So what does that do to the bag? Well, you add 5 pounds onto the back of that bag, and boy, it's going to tilt towards you. Now you've changed. I'm sorry. It's going to tilt, or it's going to tilt. So now you've changed the dynamics of your bag on how it is on your body. That's why it's absolutely critical that you do a lot of dry runs with your bag to make sure that your memory remembers that that bag is not exactly hanging straight on you anymore. So that's the first thing that I do, is where am I going to put the gun? And then I start to think, how is it going to affect the bag? And then I start to think about, okay, what access do I want to have with this particular style? So everybody would love to have a top draw, which is what this bag definitely has. We have a top draw that's held with rare earth magnets. You hear that click? That's how strong those magnets are. No one's going to see into that. But it certainly gives you quick access to that. In addition to that, if you can't do that, you have your left and right hand access as well. Again, practice is absolutely essential and critical because how you draw top draw versus left or right, it's totally different. Okay, so we do that. In addition to that, we include our own holsters in every single bag. Now, I am not a holster designer. I am a luggage and a bag designer. So I didn't mess around. I went to Mernicle Holsters, who is a specialist, and he designed those holsters for us. That shape is our iconic shape. It has served us very well, and it continues to do so. We will be making some adjustments to that for this year, but overall, all of those are always included in our bags. In addition to that, we use luggage grade, high grade Velcro hook and loop, to make sure that that holster stays where it belongs. Again, it's a weight issue. You can use, there's all different levels of hook and loop. And in a typical handbag, it's not very durable because of the fact you don't need it. And it's very lightweight, great, but that doesn't hold a 5 to 8 pound firearm in place when you need it. Because when you do open our bags or open any concealed carry bag, you don't want that holster falling out. So all of this goes into one more thing that we learned. This was great. In our early years of designing, and we were all sitting around the table with all different kinds of firearms, testing the pull, how they work in the bags to make sure that we could access them very quickly. One of the testers, oh my God, freaked me out because they did it. They actually drew in 2 seconds and they drew out a handful of lining. And that was a major aha moment right there because holy crap, that scared the hell out of me. So to this day, I'm going to grab our lavender. To this day, we have a different lining in the bag compared to the rest of the bag. So here you can see how we put the holster, but this is microfiber, and it's microfiber that is backed. It's a proprietary operation that we developed, and we developed it for luggage. That's where the luggage comes in. So that never again, when you draw, will you ever get a handful of lining. If anything, it helps to enhance your draw. So without testing, we wouldn't have known that.
Sure.
No.
And
Well, you definitely have a commitment to safety.
yes. So in this particular bag, though, we also were going, okay, I wanted to do a bag that did it all for everybody. So how do we do that without making it like a monster bag? Well, we actually took the wallet concept because we are a manufacturer of wallets. And we took the wallet, we took this part and I said, how about if I turn this and I create a wallet space here?
With that RFID right there.
Always.
Protect your data.
Well, and that helps because then you don't take your 10-pound wallet and try to shove it in the pocket, creating the bulge on the concealed carry pocket, right? So
this entire panel here is RFID lined. So that is whenever you see this in our bags, we try to refer it to where the RFID is located. So in this case, it's the entire front panel. In other bags,
this bag is the same as my brown and my red bag.
is it that CZ98 Slim, whatever you call that Slim one? Yes.
Yes,
yeah.
That's what you have, Karen.
Now,
It's a great bag.
In this particular case, you see the zipper lining?
Hmm.
The zipper in the lining, excuse me.
Yes.
That's where the RFID is.
Okay.
So this pocket is specifically made with the RFID lining.
Very
So,
cool.
and in addition to that, your shoulder strap. Like I had mentioned before, in the luggage industry, it had been actually in the luggage and travel industry 10 years before I actually came into the firearms industry. So we were using this already for protection, for security and whatnot. But yeah, so this is our iconic identification as to a gun tote mama bag. You know, we know that that there's quite a few companies that are using this now. I applaud them because it's important, because this is a safety feature. And what we do here is that we embed it and make sure that we've taken care of all those loose ends so they don't pop out. In addition to that, we do something a little different too. I noticed that with the weight and the security and whatnot, sometimes when we put leather on the underside, leather gets softer and the surface actually gets shinier and whatnot, but it also gets more slick. So what we did is that we added the high density webbing on the back to try and minimize that coming off your shoulder.
What a great idea.
So these are the little details that we get into. We also discovered very early on, and I don't think I've got an example here because I think I got rid of it. We learned very early on that there's many different types of clasps that attach to the bag. Well, some of the clasps that we have used in our carry-on luggage, for instance, would not be suitable for this bag because, again, we're carrying a firearm. So out of my intense feeling for safety on this, we moved to the thumb clip that overlaps. This overlaps. So we make sure.
Not coming off easy.
And ladies, audience, please, 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 I'm going to say this. You may not like it, but I'm going to say this. Your life is not worth the bag. If you have a situation and you absolutely must protect yourself at all costs, leave the bag behind. It's easy to replace that. You are not replaceable. In addition to that, if you end up shooting through the bag, we will replace that for you for free because we are honored that we have been able to help you get through a situation.
And the ideal thing would be that we all practice with our firearm
Amen.
and make sure that we're ready to draw if we had to, if we can't avoid a bad situation, which is always our first defense. But if you have to draw from that bag to practice, and I think you spearheaded training classes, and so now there's training classes available for people for concealed carry, draw from your holster system that also happens to have a purse feature with it, and instructor training. Krista's been to the instructor training, and we really applaud you for really looking at this holistically as a company. You're talking about giving us a product that's going to be useful to us, that we hope we never need, but if we need to, boy, we're going to be ready to. Then you invested in training. You also talk a lot in your manual about the responsibilities of carrying a handbag and what that means to people. I mean, you've really gone over and above to make sure that everyone has the information they need to be safe, responsible gun owners and do the right thing. So it's really admirable. We appreciate you.
Thank you. But it's necessary because nobody was doing it. And it's still, I would love to have more people involved because it makes us a safer industry and a safer community when everybody steps up and hits that high bar by watching out for safety. We watch out for other people's safety, other demographics and whatnot, but this needs to be even more paid attention to than what it is. So I was very, very fortunate to be to have my mentor with Vicki Farnham. She introduced me to the attorney who helped me to write this manual. This manual is free. You can download it from our website, or you can even just send an email and we'll send you a copy. What's really important about the manual is that it talks to you about how to handle the bag around children. And ladies, keep the bag with you. It's your responsibility. Don't ever, with a gun in it, do not ever let it just lie around. So, but yes, it is a holistic attitude. It has to be, because protection isn't just one static thing. You have a whole environment all around you. And we do love carrying our bags, no matter what. I do love my brand new Paisley.
Oh my goodness.
I am a girl from the 60s. So, oh gosh. Yep, there you go. Because it is so easy to wear for me. But another aspect.
Sorry. Thought that was on silent. Can't make this up.
One other advantage that we have when carrying off body like this with a bag is we have the advantage that you know what? My hands get cold all the time, so I'm going to put it in my bag. So what does that mean? That means that you have the chance that if you're walking into a dark parking lot because you've worked late, God knows I've been one, get out of O'Hare Field at 2:00 in the morning and there's nobody around you. My hand is prepared. So that's another great advantage to having a bag on you versus going through in Chicago, the way it's been cold and whatnot, you have all those layers on you. How do you quickly access anything? You can't. So the advantage of having an off-body, cross-body bag, as what we are doing here, gives you a level playing field that you have access to your protection right away.
So, Claudia, I'd like to ask and I know the answer to this question, but I think we should ask it for our followers that maybe either haven't had this conversation, aren't sure, and don't realize the resource exists. But how do you know if your firearm fits in your handbag, or how to buy a handbag that's going to work with your particular firearm? Do they all just go together?
Well, what we do is that we, on our website, we provide not only the size of the bag, but we actually provide the actual size of the gun compartment. And the measurement that I provide of that on the website, I've done it in such a way that if you follow that measurement and you match your gun to that measurement, it is going to fit.
Good to know.
Not just, I've given you the total size of that compartment. No, because you can't put your gun up to the zipper.
Right.
Because that also starts to compromise the way that the zipper will operate as well, too. You don't want to punch that zipper out. It has to remain the way that it was designed for, so that in this particular case, I can rip it open. Sorry, I wasn't fast enough because I've got it all the way up here.
Well, yeah, you're not where you normally would be.
Right, exactly.
It looks
So
great.
if you follow what we have on the website for the gun compartment, and make sure that you're measuring your firearm so that you're from the tip of the end of the barrel to the longest point, and that doesn't necessarily mean that it's the sight there. I mean, handles do extend further.
Right.
So you have to measure your gun, and all of the firearm companies offer these measurements online as well. If you haven't purchased your gun yet, just make sure that measurement from the most to the left to the most to the right is what it is, and does it match our measurement for the gun compartment online? And that is how you know. Now, if you are struggling with that, we also give you the opportunity to call in. and also to write in. But for a fast relief of information, if you're standing at the store and you don't know what to do, you can call our number and dial extension 107, and you will get somebody on the phone who will be able to help you.
During business hours, though, right?
During business hours, correct. Correct.
So you've got a lot of great colors and patterns. You've got spring and Mother's Day coming.
Mother's Day.
What if someone wants to purchase a bag for somebody else? Do you have any recommendations?
Oh my Lord.
You have like a gift card concept in case they don't know what they want to do?
Yes.
Okay.
Our website does we will have some fun Mother's Day gift cards coming up on the website pretty soon, but there are gift cards already on there. Also know that you can buy stress-free, because if you're not sure what your mother wants and whatnot, not a problem. If she wants to return it and pick something else out, very easy to do. We give all that information on there. We want to make sure that the recipient of our bags is absolutely 100% happy with it. That is really important for us, because we want you to be able to use that bag and not keep it in the closet for a rainy day. So we have some brand new things coming, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what was brand new from SHOT Show, and that we've already made our decision. It's gone through testing and it's in production right now. Whoa.
This is so fun. Oh,
There's my favorite color. Like buttery.
blue, right? The blue or the brown?
Mine's the buttery but caramel, whatever we call that, camel.
Oh, yeah.
We're calling it caramel.
Okay, I'll take that. That's perfect.
Okay. So the lighting here isn't showing it as it should. It's a little bit darker, a little bit more of like a slight red, and I mean very slight red, because I'm not into red tans as much. But this is our saddle color, is what we're calling this. So this is our schoolgirl design. Nice, cute little handle. Obviously, in my hand, I can do this. I don't know how many other people can do this. And our brand new color, Ocean.
Mm-hmm.
And this is, I love this color. I mean, it's one of these colors that actually makes your breath kind of go, wow. Because it's soft, but it's not muddy. And this will go with almost anything you have. This is in production. We now also have a pre-sale ability on our website. So if it's not there by Mother's Day, you have the ability to purchase it so that when it hits our door, you're the first one to get it. So, yep, this will be up on our website pretty soon. So keep an eye on it. It's the GTM 36 Schoolgirl. But what I also love is how compact this is. Of course, it's crossbody, without question. But we have a 3-access way of getting into the gun compartment. Again, totally separate, its own compartment. Nothing is going to interfere with it. And there you go. Put them upside down. Can you hear that? So
Beautiful bag.
Beautiful bag. And I just want to tell everybody that hook and loop is very, very durable, because when I put my gun, especially if Ben is here, my grandson, when I come home and put my handbag down, I take my gun out, but in its holster. Like, I don't deholster my gun. I leave it in that little Velcro holster. I just take the whole holster out, put it in my safe. So I've done that, 365 times however many, like in and out of my safe. And so it's very durable. Like it's incredibly durable. So
also, for your listeners too, our quality of hook and loop is identical to crossbreed. So if they would like to have our holsters are a standard holster. It's generic. But if they would like to have something that's more fitted, then Don't be afraid.
I just hope so.
Identical in the quality. Yeah.
Probably heard me undoing mine.
There you go.
I'm gonna have my initials on it because there might be some times that I've been around people that have tried to trade some things out.
What's Karen doing?
Currently my favorite
Who
bag.
would do that?
This is
Well,
my
okay, so let's hold that up, Krista, because all right, that is our #1 best-selling leather. This was truly a labor of love, that our distressed buffalo. When I first started this project 8 years ago, my tannery and factory and I wanted something very specific, and it took about 3 years to develop it. But look at how the oils, you want to hold that up again,
Yes, I
Krista?
will. Beautiful bag.
You guys, you'll see this because now you can see, how many years have you had it, Krista?
I've had this a year.
A year. So
Mhm.
you can see there how the oils and waxes have helped to condition the bag on its own. You do not need to add any more to that. And I recommend that you don't, because when you add more than what we've put in, you could do what's called stuffing and overstuff the leather, which means that you've put so much in that it can actually leak out on your clothing and whatnot. So we don't want to see that happen. But look, if you saw how beautiful that was, I mean, the patina is gorgeous. It's a leather that you can trash and it still looks great.
Scratching the leather. Sounds terrible.
All right. You know, we're going on 41 minutes. We could talk probably for hours.
Again,
But I know that we want to keep listeners through the whole thing. So we probably need to wrap it up. But I would like to, let's ask a question. What question would we like to ask our listeners? I think we've seen some great bags. Like, what color bag of all the bags we've showed you do you like best? We saw a yellow one. I see those two beautiful blue. We've got the new blue,
Yeah, we have
the
blue.
lavender, the caramel.
mustard is
So-
brand new.
If you all pick what your favorite color was of the bags that you saw today and write that in the comment, Krista will pull a lucky winner. And this is what we're going to give.
Beautiful
Check
bag.
this out. This is something that we did for our Christmas presents.
Yeah.
These are luggage tags. They're made by guess who? We know in the luggage business, Claudia. So if you guys would like, comment favorite color bag, and Krista will pick one lucky winner, and we will mail you a custom, like only one of 100 currently. We might order some more. I mean, seriously, I'm putting them on everything. Like, I love them. I'll tell you why I love them. I love them because your information isn't exposed. I can't stand, I don't know about y'all, but I cannot stand when you see somebody's luggage information and their whole personal information is on there. Like,
Karen, show that really close to your camera, right in front of the camera. Go the other way. Yeah.
Right. See, so you put, like, I just put a business card in mine. This one's brand new. I took it out of the package. But
Yeah.
you undo the strap and then you put your business card in this little part and then you strap it back up and it stays done. Now, if my bag got lost, somebody can certainly open it and find out whose it was and send it back. But otherwise, and then look how good our logo looks embossed on that beautiful leather. Ooh.
Is the 4th strongest leather in the world, so it is absolutely perfect for travel, and it's
And-
very lightweight.
And it's perfect for shoot like a girl. I'm just saying.
Damn.
I have one other question before we close out our show, Claudia. So every year we see new colors, variations of colors with new names. Have you ever thought of an ivory before? You know, like an off-white, an ecru, a butter. You know, I'm just might be planting some seeds, right? It's all personal at this point. I'm just kidding.
You know, I will
All right.
tell you that we have tried it. The problem is that you're carrying a firearm, and how dirty will it get? Now, in order to do that, that means I have to put a coating on the leather to make sure it's not affected. But believe it or not, most people don't want it.
That makes sense because I'm not most people. I'm a little off. I'm a little bit off to the whatever. But I thought I'd ask while we were here.
So since you said that, Krista, last contest, y'all watch to the end, so you're getting rewarded. I'll give away a second one of these if you say what color bag you would like to see.
Yes.
And we'll just see what happens with that. So
Yes.
you know, the Safe Living trailer is going to be in April at, let me think, Greenville.
Yes, Greenville, the 13th and
14th, and Shoot Like a Girl will be Broken Arrow. We're getting ready to turkey hunt. I'm getting ready to do a bunch of turkey hunting. I'm super excited. Y'all, I got asked to guide the Tennessee Governor's Hunt, and so I'm going to guide for Tennessee Governor's Hunt. I'm so excited. And then I to take someone who has disabilities hunting in Alabama opening week, and then I head right to Bass Pro Shops in Oklahoma. We're going to take 6 ladies hunting, turkey hunting there. So a lot of turkey hunting for me in the future.
Wow. Do you send care packages?
I'm sorry?
Do you send care packages?
Do I send care packages?
Yeah. What are you planning to do with that turkey meat? Okay.
Oh, eat it. It will go on the smoker. I'm telling you.
I think Claudia was hoping for a little bit of turkey.
We could maybe figure something out
with it. Come on.
Yeah. Well, I just need to take you with me and get you your own turkey. That's what you need to do.
That would be fun.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Well, you all, we really do got to close up. We're at 46 minutes.
All right, here we go. I'm going to close this. Ready? Go.
Work hard for my pay, do it in my way to make my way in this world. I'm an outdoor lover, fight like a girl, shoot like a girl.
Download our song.